What's up everybody, it's Sean here and I'm back today to give you guys a review of the Asics Gel-Kayano 14 in this white sage and graphite gray colorway. So this is a brand new colorway of the Asics Gel-Kayano 14, which is part of a 2-shoe pack called the Earthenware Pack. So the colors of the shoes from this pack are inspired by the various earth tones found in nature and their influences on the color palettes from iconic outdoor garments. So alongside this pair, they released also a brown-based colorway as well, but this one was definitely my favorite of the two. So I picked this up over at Stop and they retailed for a price of 220 Canadian dollars or 160 down in the US. And the most notable change that they've adopted on these Gel-Kayano 14s is the use of Ripstop nylon instead of traditional mesh. So jumping right into the details, you can see on the toe box, the base layer here, this is a gray colored Ripstop nylon and it has this honeycomb shaped pattern to it found throughout. Overlaid on both sides of the toe box, we have these synthetic overlays which are done in that same gray color, and we have these dark gray detailing found within. Moving down on the lateral side, we have these two flexible rubberized overlays, and then covering the eyelets, we have more of that gray colored synthetic overlay, this time featuring these horizontal lines which cut across, which gives it more of a darker appearance from farther away. Underneath this, we have the signature Asics stripes. This is again done in a mix of light gray and dark gray. And then underneath this, you can see more of that Ripstop nylon, just like we saw on the toe box. When you compare this to the medial side, the stripes here are a little bit different. They're a little bit bolder and darker on the edges compared to the lateral side, but material-wise, it's pretty much identical. Surrounding the heel of the shoe, we have more of these synthetic overlays, and on the lateral side only, we have Gel-Kayano 14 branding pressed on in this dark gray finish. And then on the back of the heel, we have this dark gray overlay, and in the middle of the heel, we have gel branding. As far as the laces go, so these only come with one lace option and they're a flat style trail lace, which is done in a mix of light gray with these dots of dark gray found throughout. Underneath this, the tongue is constructed out of that same Ripstop nylon, just like the rest of the upper of the shoe. We have this mesh layer in the middle, which holds the laces in place, and then we have another overlay towards the top, and this is done in almost like a semicircle finish, and we have Asics branding found right in the center. So the back of the tongue and the interior liner of the shoe, this is covered in this very silky smooth, very soft dark gray lining, and the inner collar of the shoe is decently padded but not overly stuffed. And then as far as the insoles go, these come with an Ortholite branded foam insole. It's covered in a dark gray mesh on top, and we have Asics Gel-Kayano 14 pressed onto the heel. So the upper of the shoe sits atop this EVA foam midsole, which is painted in this tonal light gray finish. Incorporated within this midsole, we have Asics gel technology, which is visible on both the lateral forefoot as well as this large portion here on the lateral heel. And this is there to help with impact protection and shock absorption. And then turning the shoe over to the bottom, so the outsole here is done in a mix of medium gray and dark gray rubber. We have these grooves to give you added flexibility, and in the middle of the outsole, we have this clear TPU shank plate, which is what Asics calls their Trustic support system, and this is there to help with torsional rigidity, mid-foot support, and to help prevent your foot from twisting when you're walking or running. So that breaks down the look and the construction of this pair. And for those wondering about sizing, to me these fit pretty much like any other Gel-Kayano 14, so I personally prefer to stick true to size. My foot measures as a true size 10, slightly on the wider side, so I get these in a size 10 and they fit me great. So whatever size you normally wear for the Gel-Kayano 14, stick with that same size and you should be fine. But if you've never worn a pair before, I feel like if you have a narrow, normal, or even a slightly wide foot, true to size is fine. But if you have a really wide foot, you'd probably be better off going up a half size. Moving on to the comfort, so even though they use Ripstop nylon instead of mesh, the comfort of the shoe feels pretty much identical. So the underfoot feeling feels extremely supportive, but at the same time, you feel a decent amount of cushioning underfoot. So the Gel-Kayano 14 I find is a very well-balanced sneaker. I usually compare it to the Gel 1130 and the GT 2160. So when I think of it that way, it's kind of on a spectrum. We have the Gel 1130, which is the most plush and softest of the three, the Gel-Kayano 14, which is the most balanced, and then the GT 2160 on the other end, which has a stiffer feeling underfoot and is a bit more supportive, but it lacks that softness that the other two models have. So if you're looking for a very comfortable sneaker, one that you can wear for hours and hours on end, this is definitely a model that I'd recommend. Finally, in terms of the quality and craftsmanship, so first off, material quality was really nothing special. Everything about this shoe is all synthetic. So we have these ripstop layers, we have these synthetic overlays. There's no genuine leathers, no genuine suedes, nothing like that, which kind of makes sense because the Gel-Kayano 14, it was originally intended to be a performance running shoe. So you're not going to find true leathers or suedes on an actual performance-oriented sneaker. And considering this pack was going for more of a technical approach as opposed to a premium approach, it makes sense why they gave us the materials that they did. But from a build and craftsmanship standpoint, I really had no issues with this pair. The panels were cut consistently, the stitch job was good, there wasn't an overabundance of glue stains or dried glue, so I really had no complaints about this shoe from a build standpoint. So with all of that out of the way now, let me toss these on feet, I'll lace them up for you, and I'll show you guys how these look. If you're in the market for a very comfortable, well-balanced sneaker, and one that's a very simple, versatile, and arguably plain colorway, this is a model I think you should consider. I have to say though, when I first caught these in hand, the in-hand appearance of this shoe was a little bit different from how the Asics website portrayed them to be. I expect them to be a bit more of a lighter, creamish tone as opposed to this truer gray tone that it really is. That's not to say that it's a bad looking sneaker. I just feel like you really have to see these in person to really assess whether you're a fan of it or not. And as far as the material changes, it's not bad. This obviously gives it more longevity and it makes it a little bit more wearable and durable, especially in the winter months here in Canada where it's very wet. I'm not gonna say that it's entirely water resistant or waterproof, but it's definitely gonna do a better job than a traditional mesh. So leave a comment down below to let me know, what do you guys think about this Gel-Kayano 14 from this Earthenware Pack? What are your overall thoughts on this pair? Do you like the colorway, the material changes? Leave your comments down below and let's talk about it. And as usual, if you guys enjoyed this video, be sure to like, comment, and subscribe to my channel if you haven't yet. You can follow me on Instagram at esco8, check me out on Twitter or X at sean.go spelt out, and visit my website at seango.ca. So thank you so much for watching. Hopefully you guys enjoyed this review and hopefully it helped you in some way, and I'll catch you guys all in the next one.